Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Hollywood. We're going to talk about the strikes, the SAG-AFTRA versus AMP-TIP drama. And we're going to talk about SNL. It's a lot of acronyms in one sentence. But Saturday Night Live roasting Fran Drescher.
It was pretty funny, actually.
It was actually pretty funny. I mean, they have their moments, but the fact that Saturday Night Live is roasting Fran Drescher and the stupid Halloween costume restrictions, and they're pointing out the obvious. It was a really stupid thing. It was a really stupid thing. Now, they did shoehorn it in at the end, why they're going on strike. I think they felt like they had to. Like, they got too many Kit Kat bars, and we need some Kit Kat bars.
Break me off a piece.
Yeah, but the point is that most actors in the union feel that the Halloween costume thing was absolutely batshit insane.
Well, I thought it was insane that they can't talk about shows they worked on years ago. They can't, cosplayers had to have rules they had to follow if they wanted to support the union. Influencers were told they weren't allowed to talk about things, or they would never be allowed to be in the union. That's how ridiculous this is. But then the Halloween costume, when it directly impacted them, then they're like, well, we're pissed now.
Yeah, right. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo.
Woohoo.
Get woohoo. Go out to shopclownfish.com. There's a link in the description, in the write-up. Back Shadowbinders Volume 3 coming next summer. But this is the first new Shadowbinders content in about 10 years, and we're hoping to bring these books to you. We're not using Indiegogo this time. We might be doing Kickstarter in a couple of weeks here. We're discussing the options, but Indiegogo is no longer an option for us. Lots of people having problems with Indiegogo for a variety of reasons. And in fact, I just saw more about it on Twitter this morning, that there are more people having problems with Indiegogo. So that's off the table. So we'll talk about this, but first, we're not going to do a video on it because it's ghoulish. But yeah, Matthew Perry passed away.
Yeah, that's sad.
Apparently they did a tribute to him on Saturday Night Live, and people were already speculating as to the cause. It's like we
don't know yet, though. He
had a long history of substance abuse, and he had issues, and it's sad. I mean, he wasn't even 55. He was 54. He was only 54 years old. Very sad, but yeah, we're not going to do a video on it. So we'll just mention it here because we're talking about Saturday Night Live. So let's talk about this. The fact that they are willing to roast Fran Drescher, drag her out on Saturday Night Live, says a lot, and now the negotiations are ongoing. Apparently they were no digital clones. We are human. It's so weird because we're seeing all these commercials now with
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey for AI, but
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's for Salesforce, which is like a CRM, a customer.
Yeah, because Disney was one of the ones that were trying to look into these things to replace people with.
Yeah, so
AI,
how do we know that's actually Matthew McConaughey?
Could be AI generated.
It could be AI. Maybe he never existed. Maybe he's just an AI knockoff of Woody Harrelson.
There you go.
That explains why they look so much alike. But yeah, so they're still talking about it, but I think people have had enough of it. So SNL parodies exhausting Fran Drescher, studio negotiations and SAG's Halloween costume restrictions. We've done videos on that. Ryan Reynolds was one of the first ones to make
fun of her for the costume thing.
Yep.
I was like, what the hell?
Now, I don't know. We can't run the clip. I'm not going to run the clip because we'll probably get a copyright strike because it's us, So we're going to talk about the article and what went down in the skit. So the sketch portrayed children running around in IP-branded Halloween costumes getting halted by Fran Drescher, who was there to teach you how to do Halloween during a strike. That includes asking SAG-AFTRA members to not wear costumes based on movie or TV characters, or else we would be promoting the companies we're striking against, which makes all of these children a bunch of adorable scabs.
Wait,
because Ryan Reynolds was saying about his daughter being a scab because she wanted to.
Okay, this makes sense. I missed the whole beginning of the skit.
Yeah.
So
Drescher recommended safe costumes like Harry Potter, as described only in the book, and minor characters from the Bible. Pointedly, after Drescher says, "That's why we've been picketing for 100 days," another character responds, "That must be exhausting." She deadpans back, "Hey, did you just call me exhausting? Well, a lot of people have." Ouch. The quip could have been a response to recent A-list pressure on Drescher and the Guild to make a deal quickly. Yeah, a lot of A-listers were willing to give up more money just to get this thing resolved. And Fran Drescher's like, no, we're just going to stay on strike as long as it takes, forever. We'll do it forever if we have to. And look, from their point of view, you got to be like, what the hell are you doing? Because that last offer was pretty good. Now, what, again, for those of you who haven't been following this, what threw a wrench into it supposedly was this ask for a levy on every streaming subscriber. They say 57 cents. The studios say $1. But regardless, it's a lot of money. It's millions and millions of dollars. And it got thrown at the studios, I guess, at the last minute when they thought they had a deal.
But then the thing is, that was the only issue. Why are we still,
Why are we still negotiating? Just be like, yeah. So despite the barb at Drescher, she ends the sketch with a monologue aimed at the amp tip saying negotiating with studios is a lot like trick-or-treating. You know how to go the biggest house on the block and you can see that they're pretending they're not home and they got all these Kit Kat bars, dozens of Kit Kat bars, billions of Kit Kat bars. I just want a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Like, what the hell? So they have to do that.
They had the part, and they too, that was funny. They said, well, you could take other characters and you could change them a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, they had a kid dressed as Wolverine and like drop the claws, and it's like any gay man over 50. And then they had another kid that's Mario, and to take the hat, change it for a chef's hat. Now it's the guy on the pizza box. And the kid's like, it's me, the guy on the pizza box.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. They had,
Hoda instead of Yoda.
Yeah, and they're like giving her a drink. It's like what you say. The wig is fake, but the wine is real.
Yeah,
and then she's talking about like drunk little kids or whatever. But the fact that they're blasting her, that she'll probably be invited on as a host or something at some point. But the fact that they're blasting her tells me that a lot of people in Hollywood, in the entertainment industry, is sick of the shit. And they just want to get it done, get it over with.
The costume thing was, they were already pissed. See, like when it was like we couldn't talk about shows that we were involved in because when the fans pay us money to come see us. A few actors spoke out, but most of them like, okay, whatever. Oh, the influencers can't talk about this stuff, or they can't be in union. Oh, that sounds okay, whatever. But you can't dress as what you want for Halloween. Well, that's too far.
Yeah, well, because it affects you now.
It affects them, yes.
So, what turned me against them personally, and I can't speak to Geeky, but what turned
I wasn't happy.
What turned me against them was when they started telling influencers and YouTubers and stuff you were not allowed to cover any struck project or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, we actually are eligible to join SAG-AFTRA based on their criteria for influencers. And I would never do it.
No, I wouldn't.
I would never do it, especially now. After this, like...
Well, then when I found out they were like, not letting the actors talk about stuff, people were paying all this money to go see them at events, and then they had to hear about their morning coffee because they couldn't talk about the actual stuff they're paying money. So it's actually costing consumers, money, and then they're not getting what they're paying for. Now, the actors, a lot of them were speaking out about how dumb it was. Well, a few of them, not a lot of them. A few of them, and they got roasted immediately. But then the straw that broke the camel's back was, the Halloween costume rule.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
That was, so Steve Amell, and I agree with him. All he said was he thought it was stupid, and same with Zachary Levi. They thought it was stupid because those guys do the con circuit. And a lot of their money comes from doing the con circuit, especially Steve Amell. I think he has a company where he actually books other actors and stuff. So he's doing the con circuit, and people are paying to see him because they want to hear him talk about like Arrow or his time on Arrow. That's why he does the con circuit. He's not allowed to. He had a new show, and they canceled his show, by the way, a wrestling show. They canceled it, but he wasn't allowed to talk about it. He wasn't allowed to promote it. And he was like, I think he knew the show was struggling. He's like, yeah, here I am on the con circuit. I can't promote this show, and I think it's really stupid. So then as they made him do the walk of shame, they gave him a sign, said, you got to go out there and pick it, Stephen Amell. You have to go out there and pick it. How dare you say it's stupid?
We're not going to give you special permission to film something like everybody else gets.
No.
I don't know. The whole thing's stupid. But
I
yeah.
I think it's stupid.
Now Saturday Night Live is mocking Fran Drescher too.
So basically when it hits Saturday Night Live, and it was kind of like with the vaccine stuff too, like when it hits Saturday Night Live, we've reached peak idiocy because they would never go against the grain, if they thought there was going to be massive backlash.
Well, they did it with like the vaccines and stuff.
Well, they did, but that was after people were already tired of the mandates.
Right, they wait until it's safe.
It's safe. SNL's never been, people are like, oh, I can't believe they did that. It's like, nah, SNL's just saying stuff that other people have been saying for
But now that all the other outlets are covering it, now it's safe so they can do it.
Yeah, so now Deadline and Variety are running with it too, and they're like, yeah, she is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, this Halloween mandate
they're mad
thing's...
about the costumes because it crossed the line for them.
for them.
That costume thing's stupid, you know.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna say something.
Now we're gonna say something. So anyway, there we go, guys. I think this thing will probably be over because I think there's too much pressure now, and it sounds like there's some dissent in the ranks. You know, if you read between the lines, you know, those A-listers, they got together, I thought originally just to be like, hey, what can we do to help? And it's more like, shut the fuck up.
We got to fix this
We got to
situation.
fix Tyler Perry. I guess he wasn't having it at all. She wanted to do like a group picture, and he's like, no, let's get down to business.
Let's get this done.
Let's get this stupid thing done. So we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.